Quick question. If you had to guess, what's the single worst time of day for a man over 50 to have sex? Morning, afternoon, or night? Most men instantly say nighttime is best because that's when couples are in bed together. But according to doctors, that's actually the most common mistake. Timing is not just about convenience, it's about biology. Here's why this matters. After 50, your hormones, energy, and circulation don't run on the same steady rhythm they used to. Testosterone rises and falls throughout the day, your blood flow changes depending on your sleep and meals, and your brain power literally drains as the hours tick by. So if you're choosing the wrong window, you could be fighting your body instead of working with it. And here's the kicker. One specific time of day consistently comes up as the worst for performance, satisfaction, and confidence. In this video, we're going to break down why timing matters so much more than people realize, which window is quietly sabotaging men over 50, and when your body is actually primed for your best performance. Stick around, because this one shift could make intimacy feel completely different. Here's the reality most men face after 50. Your body doesn't run on autopilot anymore. Hormones that once gave you steady drive and stamina now follow sharper highs and lows. Energy that used to last all day starts running out by the evening. And your cardiovascular system, the engine behind blood flow and erections, becomes more sensitive to stress, food, and fatigue. Yet despite all that, most couples default to the same routine, waiting until late at night. It seems logical. The workday is over, the kids are asleep, you finally have privacy. But that's also the exact window when your body is least prepared. Think about it. You've just powered through 14 hours of work, errands, and responsibilities. You've eaten dinner, maybe even had a drink or dessert. Your brain has been making decisions all day long. By the time you climb into bed, your body isn't asking for performance. It's begging for sleep. And here's where the frustration kicks in. When intimacy doesn't feel the way it used to, many men blame age, stress, or even relationship issues. But doctors now point out that timing itself may be the hidden factor. In other words, the problem may not be you. It may be when you're asking your body to perform. One of the biggest reasons timing matters is testosterone, the hormone that fuels desire, erection quality, and overall performance. What most men don't realize is that testosterone isn't steady across the day. It runs on a circadian rhythm, peaking in the morning and falling steadily as the day goes on. For younger men, that curve is steep. They can wake up with levels around 600 to 800 nanograms per deciliter, and even by evening, they're still at a level that supports strong performance. But after 50, the baseline is lower. Many men are averaging 300 to 400 nanograms per deciliter in the morning, and by night, those numbers may be nearly 30% lower. That drop is enough to make the difference between a confident, firm experience and one that feels frustrating. This isn't just theory. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that testosterone levels are consistently highest between 6 and 10 a.m. and decline by about 20 to 30% by nightfall. Even in older men, doctors often schedule testosterone testing in the morning for this exact reason. It's the most reliable window, and you've probably felt this difference yourself. That morning wood you used to take for granted, that's your body's natural testosterone peak in action. But try to recreate the same performance after a long day, heavy dinner, and a glass of wine, and suddenly it feels like your drive and ability are working against you. The truth is, your hormones are simply stronger earlier in the day and weaker the later you wait. Hormones are only one piece of the puzzle. The other big factor is energy and how quickly it drains as the day goes on. By the time you're over 50, your recovery curve is slower. That means mental and physical energy that used to last well into the night now runs out hours earlier. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. Every choice you make during the day, from answering emails to paying bills to dealing with work stress, slowly chips away at your brain's reserves. By evening, your mental fuel tank is almost empty, and intimacy isn't just physical. It takes focus, presence, and energy. If your brain is checked out, performance almost always suffers. Add physical fatigue to the mix. Your muscles are tired, your nervous system is winding down, and your body is starting to release melatonin to prepare for sleep. In that state, sex becomes more of an uphill climb. Cardiologists also warn that late-night exertion can put extra strain on the heart, especially for men with blood pressure or circulation issues, both of which become more common after 50. Think about a typical day. You've worked 9 or 10 hours, squeezed in errands, maybe exercised, then capped it off with a full dinner. By the time you crawl into bed at 10 or 11, your body isn't asking for passion. It's asking for rest. No wonder so many men feel frustrated when performance doesn't match desire. It's not that intimacy is impossible. It's that you're asking your body to perform at the exact moment when it's least ready. Beyond hormones and energy, there's the issue of circulation, and this is where timing becomes even more critical. Erections are essentially a vascular event. They depend on nitric oxide being released in the blood vessels, which allows them to relax and fill the erectile tissue with blood. If circulation is sluggish, performance takes a hit. Now here's the catch. Vascular function isn't the same all day long. Research shows that blood vessels are more responsive earlier in the day, when you're well-rested, hydrated, and not weighed down by digestion. As the day wears on, circulation gradually slows. By night, you've eaten dinner, maybe had a drink, and your body is directing a large amount of blood flow to your gut for digestion, not to your pelvis. And alcohol adds another layer. While a glass of wine or whiskey might help lower inhibition, it also blunts the nervous system signals that trigger strong erections. In fact, urologists call this the whiskey effect. Desire is there, but the body can't follow through. Combine that with fatigue and late-night timing, and it's a perfect storm for frustration. Picture this. You go out for a steak dinner, split dessert, enjoy a couple of glasses of wine, and by the time you get home, it's 10:30 or 11. You're full, tired, and relaxed, but physiologically, your body is in the worst state possible for sexual performance. Blood is working overtime in the gut, alcohol is dulling signals, and testosterone is at its lowest. When you understand that, it's clear why nighttime intimacy so often falls short. Now let's put it all together and ask the big question: when is the worst time of day to have sex after 50? To answer that, it helps to walk through each window. Mornings have a lot going for them. Testosterone is peaking, nitric oxide levels are high, and your body is fresh from rest. Many men notice firmer erections and stronger desire in the morning, which isn't a coincidence. That's your biology setting the stage. Afternoons, especially early afternoon, also have advantages. Your energy is steady, your blood sugar is balanced, and you're still far enough from bedtime fatigue. Doctors sometimes even recommend this afternoon delight window because it lines up with both hormonal balance and psychological focus. But then comes evening. By 8, 9, or 10 p.m., testosterone is at its lowest point. Energy is depleted, blood flow is being pulled toward digestion, and alcohol, even just 1 or 2 drinks, is blunting your body's ability to respond. On top of that, melatonin begins rising, preparing you for sleep, not for intimacy. For many men, this is the window when performance anxiety kicks in because desire is still there, but the body isn't cooperating. So if there's one window to avoid, doctors agree. Late night, especially after 9 or 10 p.m., is the worst time for sex after 50. It combines the lowest hormone levels, the highest fatigue, and the greatest cardiovascular strain. And while most couples default to this time out of habit, it's actually setting you up for disappointment. So if late night is the worst time, when should you actually aim for intimacy? Doctors point to 2 main windows, mornings and early afternoons. Morning intimacy lines up perfectly with biology. Testosterone peaks between 6 and 10 a.m. Nitric oxide release is highest after deep sleep, and blood vessels are most responsive. That's why morning erections, or morning wood, are so common, even in men who struggle at other times of day. It's your body giving you a built-in performance window. Plus, starting the day with intimacy can release endorphins and oxytocin, lowering stress and even improving mood for hours afterward. Another great option is early afternoon, usually between 1 and 3 p.m. By this point, your energy has recharged from sleep, blood sugar is stable, and testosterone hasn't yet dipped as low as it will in the evening. Some relationship therapists even recommend this window for couples because both partners are still alert and engaged, not exhausted from the day. Interestingly, a study out of the University of Michigan found that couples who had sex earlier in the evening or during the day reported better sleep quality compared to those who waited until late at night. And this isn't just about biology, it's about connection. Many women also feel more energized earlier in the day, which means timing can improve satisfaction for both partners. Shifting intimacy into these windows isn't less romantic. It's simply working with your body's natural rhythms to create more fulfilling experiences. So how do you put this into practice? First, recognize that timing might be the missing link. If you've been frustrated with weaker erections, low drive, or disappointing intimacy at night, it doesn't automatically mean you've lost your ability. It may just mean you've been asking your body to perform in the wrong window. Try experimenting for 2 weeks. Schedule intimacy earlier, once in the morning, once in the early afternoon, and notice the difference. Keep track of your energy, performance, and satisfaction. Many men are surprised to find their confidence returning simply by changing the time of day. You can also support this shift with small lifestyle tweaks. Eat lighter in the evening so blood flow isn't trapped in digestion. Limit alcohol if you know you want intimacy, since even 1 or 2 drinks can dull erectile response. Prioritize quality sleep because deep rest strengthens your morning testosterone surge. And if privacy is an issue, like kids at home or a busy household, get creative. Plan for intimacy during a quiet window in the afternoon or early evening before exhaustion hits. The main point is this: sex after 50 isn't about forcing your body to work harder. It's about creating the right conditions so your hormones, energy, and circulation are naturally on your side. Adjust the timing, and you may find you don't need nearly as much fixing as you thought. At the end of the day, sex after 50 isn't about slowing down. It's about playing smarter. The time of day you choose can be the difference between frustration and confidence. By avoiding late-night intimacy and shifting to mornings or early afternoons, you're aligning with your body's strongest window for hormones, energy, and blood flow. That one change can transform how satisfying intimacy feels, not just for you, but for your partner as well. So here's the takeaway: don't blame age alone. Timing is an overlooked but powerful factor you can control starting today. Experiment with it, listen to your body, and see how much easier performance becomes when you stop working against biology and start working with it. If this video gave you a new perspective, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We release new videos every week with science-backed tips for men over 50. From boosting testosterone and circulation to natural fixes for stamina and confidence. Stick with us, and you'll discover that your best years aren't behind you. They're just waiting to be timed right.